My name is Colin Gayle. I am the co-founder and CEO of Africa Creative Agency. I am currently based officer in South Africa, Kenya, Ghana, LA, London, and Lagos, Nigeria. Africa Creative Agency is a creative agency. We focus on talent. The big difference for us is that we focus on everything into Africa and everything out of Africa. So we have a very tunnel vision. We only look at talent that is based from Africa, either originally from Africa or based in Africa. And then we look at companies that want to do business in Africa, or artists or directors or anything within those 8 spaces that define the entertainment industry. There's a lot of local digital platforms that kids are able to enjoy music. I think the Spotifys and the Apples are making a big push to go into the continent. We have a record being released tomorrow by an artist that's on 17 front pages of Apple around the world. He's from Durban, South Africa, right? So I think the access to those platforms and people being able to afford those platforms and having the data and the digital platforms to get on, I think is changing the conversation. So yes, do we have a way to go? Yeah, most definitely, but we're definitely on our way. Venues is an issue. Touring. We don't have any touring. So you have one-offs, a lot of big events, but nothing that says I'm dropping a record on June 2nd and I'm gonna go out and do 45 dates, right? That doesn't exist. I think that's the next phase that's going to happen, because Africa is 54 countries, 54 unique countries, and you have to look at it that way. And the best you could do is break it down regionally, break it down and tour those markets. I think you see Universal Vivendi investing in venues across Francophone Africa. They're putting 50 venues across the continent over the next couple of years. I think you're going to see companies like AEG and Live Nation and those guys really start to get into that space. But you're going to see local companies start to really get into that space and understand it. I think politicians have woke up. They hadn't really saw the value of entertainment, right? There was something cute, guy on stage, I like it, I go out, I listen, but that's not a business. I think that's changed. That's what's changed in the last 2 years. I think politicians, corporations are beginning to look and say, wow, this is an entire industry. This is a whole ecosystem that creates jobs, creates taxes, blah, 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 blah. And now you start to see the politicians be really standing up and saying, okay, what is this industry? How do we engage? That could be good and that could be bad. You know, Africa is 65% below the age of 25. No other place, Germany is the average 43. So you just look, we have nothing but babies. So the wave going forward it's incredible. This is China 25 years ago or 20 years ago, except Africa's gonna leapfrog. Right? It's going to look around the world, it's going to see what didn't work, and it's going to take the best and apply it now. Africa's going to say, what is the digital copyright game today? And they're going to start there. The music is working now is Afrobeat, if you talk about a broad stroke. Afrobeat is happy music. It's not political music, it's music you dance to. You know, you instantly put a smile on your face and your hips start to move, right? That's Afrobeat, right? If I was to predict, the next thing is going to be hip hop, right? And you're going to get a hip hop, which then becomes a very different conversation, because hip hop becomes a voice of a youth generation, whether they're feeling good, whatever their issues in their community or whatever. Hip hop becomes a voice of a generation, always has been, always will be. So I think hip hop is going to take hold. It's going to be interesting to see what that message is going to be, but it's going to be local. And as if you listen lyrically to artists like Nasty C, he's talking about things in his hood, things that are going on in his neighborhood, things that affect him, what he wants to see the next generation do. That's why hip hop is so important. If you want to know what's going on in the community, listen to his hip hop, right? It's what tells you exactly what's going on. If you're a politician and you want to know what's wrong, you just need to listen to the lyrics. Now, whether you can fix those things or not, that's another conversation. It's beautiful to see young kids that we represent here speaking on a panel with us. And knowing that the time that we took to sit on a rock somewhere in the village and talk about this industry is paying off. So that's what excites me, and that's what excites me about this festival, is that there's a lot of young kids here that paid their own way to get here, that's walking from booth to booth, table to table, meeting people, exchanging emails. Our job is to empower them, be there when they have questions, throw a bit of gas on it when we can, and get out their way.